Welcome back to the Rich Hot Free Entrepreneur here on the Business Forum Show and Northwest Digital News. And we have Carolan Deacon, Kevin Hunter here, and we're going to talk about how to improve your income, how to grow your income as a solopreneur. A lot of people out there, men and women both, running a business on their own, could use some ideas on how to grow their income. Carolan, what you got today?
Well, my idea comes from about 6 years of doing this professionally, and my conclusion is this: that if your business has any strong online component, which almost every business does or should, images matter. They really, really matter. I can tell you, when I look across just about anybody's site or social media, I see room for improvement. And it's something that often gets overlooked for the same reason that we hire business coaches to begin with, because we are so in our business, we are of it. You can't see the forest for the trees. Something that may look okay to us just doesn't cut it. So that is one of the ways that I have seen really flip the current for first time or even, established entrepreneurs who see a slag in their income, or things are starting to, go down, is just to really take a close, hard look at your image, at your website, at your social media, and say, does my site look a heck of a lot cooler than I am? Because you really want that to be a resounding yes.
Yes.
You really want the answer to be yes. My site, my images, that photo of me, I look like a rock star, and man, I'm not. Or maybe you are, but you know where I'm going with that.
Yeah.
It really needs to be way out in front. This is not the time for keeping it bare bones. Keep it authentic, yes, but you've really got to go above and beyond when it comes to the imaging.
I totally agree. You have to be rock star good with what you're doing with marketing who you are, marketing your organization, branding who you are. You have to be rock star good with that. And
you really do.
Kyle's even shown a few images here on the background of some changes that people have done as far as their own images. But I think of some of the things that people are doing even outside of their business and their websites, even with what they're doing on social media. And I was like, don't put those unflattering pictures of yourself up on the web. And so, yeah, the imaging and the branding is a really big deal.
The imaging and the branding, and I think a lot of things, this kind of piggybacks on our last episode where we talked about going all in for one specific goal and making sure your images line up with that they support that. So when I land on your Instagram account, I don't see a picture of your dog or your kid's birthday party, and then there's you in your business coach outfit trying to sell. That doesn't cut it, especially for platforms like Instagram. You want it to be cohesive. I want to be able to see a quick, cohesive palette of what it is you do, because if I can't get it real quick, understand it clearly, I'm going to click off. So that's where the imaging also plays a part. It's a very rich, multi-sensory, journey to get the imaging done just right. It's a big part of what I do with my private clients, but it definitely is a game changer, and it's not that hard to turn around. It really isn't.
To that point, when you think about how people are visually stimulated by images, branding, etc., I even think about all the years that I've been creating content on YouTube, and one of my tricks is actually what I do with that thumbnail. It's the little pic that people see that describes the content of whatever the video is. And when that pic stands out in the sea of all the other options that somebody could click, it's amazing how important that really is.
It really is, and that's a great yes. For any image, it's going to be thumbnail size, anything that's small. Always, I like to go for color and solid, not too many tiny details, anything that's going to be able to draw the eye. Same thing goes with blog posts. So now we're branching out into, it's not just about the images of you. Even that's where I kind of thought this would go, but hey, we're open. It's more than that. It's about choosing the right kind of images that are going to get you the notice factor. And like in a blog post, publish an image that when somebody sees it on their phone is going to go, oh, wow. It can be overwhelming because there's so many moving pieces to any online business. However, when you adhere to a certain minimum standard for yourself, for your images, it all gets a lot easier much more quickly.
Well, you look at these photos that are even the background here. You have a beautiful young woman who's on this picture to begin with, the before pic. But you look at how vibrant and alive and how gorgeous she looks in the picture here above me. That's a great example of just putting a little extra time and effort into that, and how much difference it makes in what people are seeing and what they're perceiving about you.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We just finished up a photo shoot this weekend up at the Peaks of Otter off the Blue Ridge Parkway here in Virginia in the mountains. And there's an art to it, getting the right kind of feeling with your images. That's the other thing I see people make this mistake. They'll hire somebody, a photographer, to come take images of themselves and where they may look pretty, but you also have to go one step past that and think about the feeling that you want your image to convey.
Sure.
When somebody lands on your website or your social media platform and they see a picture of you smiling happily into the camera, that's great. But if you're a dog groomer or a teacher or a coach or a doctor, there's a certain image that you want that photo to convey. It should convey warmth and professionalism, maybe some approachability, or maybe some exclusivity, or maybe some exclusivity. It depends. All those things can be done not only in the posing, but in what you're wearing and in Photoshop and Lightroom.
So you and your husband actually have walked a lot of clients over the years through this and how to improve their images. Give some examples of some of the basics that somebody should be thinking about there.
Well, I can tell you that less is more when it comes to clothing. When you want to keep your clothing, you want to keep it simple, and solid colors do best. If you're going to have a design, have a small design and not spread out all over, because the eye gets distracted. You really want to keep clean lines. Wear a little, for women, having a little bit of simple jewelry is a good thing. Anytime you take anything too much competition away from connecting with your face, you don't want that. One thing that's surprising is a lot of the female entrepreneurs that I work with, we're a jeans society, but some of the best shots we get are in some sort of flowy evening gown and putting them in a rural setting with that. So there's something about catching it on a windy day, and she's got, she's posed a certain way and the dress is billowing behind her. It is feminine, but it's also powerful. It's also powerful, and it says, I own my domain. And I think sometimes people shy away from that, especially first-time entrepreneurs. They want to play it a little more safe and just be, pretty contained and sweet. In my professional opinion, that just doesn't cut it in today's market. If you really want to be successful, you better step out above and beyond of where you might feel you are right now. And that's one of the things that my husband Dennis and I kind of specialize in. We're specializing in it. We're growing it. It's a lot of fun.
Well, when people talk about that the grease goes to the squeaky wheel, when you think about where that grease goes, it's definitely not going to the laid back wheel. And when I think about people who are so concerned about not either, they even use this word, I don't want to brag about myself, or when it comes to talking about myself or showing myself, I don't want to be out there like in people's faces. And I was like, you don't need to be in people's faces, but you definitely can't be, sitting back and not showing the rock star that you actually are. You have to be that rock star. You
have to be, otherwise why would somebody waste their time and money hiring you or following you or reading your words or listening to your podcast? I mean, this is the age we live in right now. Who knows what it'll be 10 years from now? It'll probably be even more. Who knows? Or maybe we'll backslide. But for right now in the near foreseeable future, you're absolutely right. You've got to step out above and just put it out there. And the other thing I like to do with the photo shoots that we do is combine the familiar with their, combine their comfort level, like wear something that you're really comfortable in. I always tell them, bring something that you love, something that is just you. And then bring something that you rarely ever wear but would love to, and kind of step out of that a little bit. So you're showing different angles. And when we do a shoot, we'll get enough images to cover them for the next 3 to 6 months. You want to show versatility. So I'm trying to get the hit list of what I try to do. Professionalism, warmth, leadership. A lot of that can be handled in the poses. And so it helps to have two photographers on any session whereas my husband will take some of the distance shots, I'm usually watching every little minute movement they make and where they're putting their hands, how close to the face. I like to keep their arms spread a little apart. That's another thing that suggests leadership and power is not just leadership and power is not to keep a clenched tight to the body with your arms. So I know I kind of went all over the place with that, but
that's all right. Well, great stuff. I hope people took away really the crux of the whole message is that you definitely have to be thinking about what you're portraying image-wise out there. Put your best foot forward. Don't be afraid to put out that rock star image, because I think about this, Carolan, as a business coach, what would you be thinking if somebody called you up and said, I have very ordinary, average, laid-back ambitions in life, and I contacted you because everything I saw about you was laid-back and ordinary. Yeah, yes. Yeah, I know you want exceptional people contacting you, so that's what you're looking for. All right, I hope...
the thing is, go ahead. We'll save it for another one. I think everybody's exceptional, but most people don't let themselves express it.
That's right. Don't feel bad about expressing that exceptional side of yourself. Well, that's a wrap here on the Rich Hot Free Entrepreneur on the Business Forum Show. Thanks, Carolan, for joining us. Thanks, everybody who joined us here on the broadcast. Carolan Deacon and Kevin Hunter here on Northwest Digital News. Till next time, take care.
This concludes today's live programming on Northwest Digital News. Thanks for joining us for this special broadcast. Heard around the world in more than 70 countries on YouTube, Instagram, Patreon, Facebook, and Twitch TV. If you enjoyed a story or guest we had here on Northwest Digital News and would like to strut your stuff on the broadcast, email us today at wainfo2017@gmail.com or call or text 360-545-3501. We're always interested in unique stories, topics, and guests to share with our worldwide audience. Before you go, don't forget to give us a big thumbs up and comment on the live stream. And for those of you who'd like to financially support the broadcast, you can do so at patreon.com/Northwest Digital News. We thank you for your patronage. On behalf of Chris Bornstead, Kyle Torgeson, Stephanie Hunter, and all the people that made this broadcast possible, I'm Kevin Hunter. Till next time, take care.